Hey, what up, Guitar Cats? Hey, panning down on my cool Grateful Dead shirt that I've had for a number of years was given to me by, I guess, one of the extended family members of the dead, and it was, let me see, one of my patients, and, geez, I got chemo brain right now, so it looks like when I was a puppy. I've been crying my eyes out all day. I had a hysterical breakdown this morning. I lost my cat. It was on my screensaver. So I had four kittens. The satanic, evil neighbors poisoned one of them with cat poisoning, and then rat poison. Sorry, cat, rat. See the chemo brain. And then I had three lovely kittens. They're about a year and a half now, and it's been 2 days. My little Patches, my little healing angel, been walking me through this whole cancer treatments and stuff. Chemo's rough. So anyway, she's missing for a good solid 2 mornings, no breakfast. She didn't come home. 2 days, 2 nights, I think so. We're probably looking at 48 hours technically, somewhere around there. And so it's a cat video, but it's an update video. What can you guys be expecting? I haven't been posting too much. I haven't been rehearsing. I haven't been playing my guitar. The chemo wipes me out. It was so heavy the last time. I thought I was going to have a heart attack and nearly die, but I have a very strong heart. And I think that if you had a weak heart, you'd be gone. That chemo is going to wreck you if you're weak. Oops, too much. If you're too old or too weak, I guess they don't give you all the stuff they're giving me. They're giving me the full dose this time, and it was it's like 7 different medications, and geez, one of them is like Orintacan, and then fluorouracil. Look, I don't speak pharma. I haven't even been to a doctor in 40 years, so I would know street drugs. And of course, in my day, well, I'm no stranger to opiates. We used to fuck around with Vicodins. You would get Vicodins. You would see those around a lot. And those are pretty strong. I guess if you lucky, you get some Percocets or whatever. So I know those things, right? And now I guess I'm similar. I'm on a hydrocodone, but it's half acetaminophen. I'm taking a lot of freaking acetaminophen. I'm taking half the recommended dose now. But I'm pretty much a fucking opiate addict, admittedly, because I'm also on I'm on OxyContin right now. And it seems pretty heavy. If I don't take it, I get pretty sick pretty quick. And nobody likes that. That ain't no fun. So, what? Health update, right? Cancer pretty much gone. They said it was a fist-sized tumor originally. They said they made good progress. I did a recent PET scan, and it's down to minimal uptake. And the metastasis looks like it's been reversed. The lymph nodes are clear. So no lymph node removal surgery. That might have been a possibility in one of my futures for sure. But they seem to clear out with immersions, hot baths every day, because my feet were swelling up, likely due to the blocked lymph nodes in the abdominal region. But PET scans shows clear, liver's clear. So I'm clear. I guess I'm stage 4 for life, but there's always a risk it could spread. But they thought it was going to the liver pretty hard. Liver's cleared. PET scan pretty much cleared the liver and even the rectum. What they say? Mild uptake. Yeah. And the bladder wall, we were worried. I was worried that it had spread to the bladder. I was like, oh my God, do I have bladder cancer now? And no, I didn't. I didn't have prostate cancer either, but I did have a prostate surgery. That was fun. So I don't know if I could ever have kids again. From what I understand, I will probably never ejaculate again. But they could harvest the semen. It's a retrograde ejaculation, so it goes back into the bladder and the semen will die in the urine, acidic urine. So if they give me enough alkaline drinks, if I drink some baking soda drinks, I'm sure I could get the urine to be neutral, and they can perhaps harvest the sperm from the urine, which, yeah, they probably won't even have to go into the bladder. You probably just pass some urine, and they'll fish it out of there, and then in vitro fertilization. So nice, I said it twice. Yeah, would be a possibility. I think that's what would have to happen, and I'm pretty sure I'm still producing lots of good swimmers. I don't know. We have to check it out, but yeah, who knows? A friend of mine prognosticated today and said I was going to meet someone who wanted to have millions of kids, have all my babies, and so oh, that's weird. I don't know, and I don't know if that was verbatim, but and she actually put a name to her. So my future wife, baby mama, going to be Maggie. I don't know. So now I'm looking for Maggie. The first girl I see is Maggie. I'm ready to ask all girls, hey, are you Maggie? Pardon me. No, never mind. You just look like my friend Maggie. Not too weird. Creeper. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. I've been doing that song. Done it a couple times if you guys watch the rehearsals. So, what to expect? What's coming up on this channel? Last time I checked, I had like 5 or maybe 13 subscribers. Odd numbers, I know, but tiny little numbers, right? We need bigger numbers. I had 100 subscribers on the Troy Benfield channel. And so this channel, we're off to a slow start. I suspect it could jump up, so like, share, do the share thing, right? Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I see the future of this channel, an occasional rant or at 7. More rehearsals being posted. Probably more medical misinformation I'll be trying to put out there so YouTube will take it down. But I've been pretty good at pretty lucky. My rehearsals have not gotten me in any type of trouble. I think as long as you don't play a certain band that's evilly controlled, perhaps under the Universal Music Group label, and those suckers emailed me, told me to cease and desist. So some bands you cannot cover, period, without permission. And yeah, maybe you got to send that in advance to YouTube to not get harassed or taken down or copyright strikes or whatever. So I guess, yeah, that's demonetization if you got that much following and you're monetized. So that's a good goal for me. I'd love to be monetized to some degree. Be nice to have a control over the ads. It doesn't seem like many people are doing that, so I don't know if that's even a thing, but they're going to sell what they can sell around you. So I expect I'll be doing more gear reviews and guitar reviews. I'm not big on gear, really. I'm not using any gear at all. I just plug straight into the amp. I got that new Fender Mustang amp, and I can't remember posting a review on it. Maybe on the other channel, the Troy Benfield channel, but maybe here too. I got a lot of videos here. So I was thinking I could do a follow-up, or maybe it's a first time, but like 6 months after, right after the unboxing, a year after. I've had that amp for a good little while now, and I generally play pretty clean. I tend to screw around with reverbs, maybe some special effects, some delay, or weird. I love heavy phaser, but I don't use it that much. I'll have like one of those like a clean, right? No drive, maybe a little bit of breakup, or some crunch, some blues. Yeah, it's not going to full distortion. It's got like an 8-inch speaker, and it's like, geez, I don't even know, 30 watts. I forgot. But it's the one Fender's pushing, right? It's probably their top seller. A nice little cheap starter amp, practice amp. And it's good for stage too. I'm playing by myself. I don't have to compete with the drummer. And 30 watts is good. It's cutting. It's not like 30 watts used to be. The 30 watts, if it is 30, it sounds like almost 50. So it's real, like a real solid 30. And it's all right. It sounds pretty warm to me. I'm no speaker expert. I am a little bit of a producer. I have a pretty good ear for things and what have you. and whatnot, and all that. So, what else? We're gonna do reviews, gear. I mean, I had bought 12 guitars. There was a few I reviewed and a few I had not even played or got to review. So after playing the amp for 6 months, I got a feel for what it does and what it doesn't do, a little bit, kind of. And I mean, it's pretty capable, right? It's got all the effects built in. So whatever I want, I can dial up. I could save. There's a million presets and channels. I don't have a foot switch, which might be nice. But then you stomp it all over. Good luck. If you want to be Matt Bolton, you're a good tap dancer. Good luck. Then kick on your guitar effects on and off. Get a pedal board for your guitar effects. It's cool. I think it might be cool for the channel, and it'd be good for me. But I've been there. I lived that life. I was the drummer in a band in a trio, and the guitar player. I watched the effects evolve, and then he had other bands. We go jam with those guys and stuff, and the other guitarists have different effects, but. It was like Boss pedals. It's still the same. They're going retro now. What I mean? People buying the same Boss distortions and, tube screamers and stuff from back in the day. But I don't like all the connections, the wires. I mean, nowadays I'm sure they're pretty reliable. You got these 4-inch, 2-inch, whatever, box to box to box, and then all the power supply, whatever. Right? At one point, Boss came out with a power supply box, like a nice plastic shell hard case, and the power supply thing for up to 4 or 6 pedals. But then you needed to get, I think there's a power supply pedal, although it might have been only, pretty cheap. But yeah, now the pedal boards are customizable, so you can mix and match all different sizes and brands and Velcro, and so that's pretty cool. But I've never had one, never screwed with any of that. I've seen reviews on it, good stuff. For sure. And it'd be fun. I think that's almost endless content, right? Pedals are friggin' endless. And, people, I guess, are obsessed with altering the sound, a little bit. And then you got Gilmore on Beato and talking about, and they're like Rush, back in the days, yeah, I mean, synthesized sounds. And then, it's all just an oscillation, right? A certain vibration, a frequency and vibration. So 440 is A or whatever we call A 440, and some people change that and tune it down, and yeah, maybe it's better at a few vibrations lower, right? A few cents lower. If you want to get your 2 cents in, I'm just like pulling it out right now. So yeah, I'm glad I'm laughing and stuff. I'm watching the clock. Wait until I have to take my next OxyContin. I know, TMI if you're here for guitar stuff, but people know I'm sick. I got 10 subscribers, give or take, right now, and it's like most of them are family members. So too bad if you're here for just straight up guitar stuff. Sometimes I throw in some personal stuff. If the channel builds, I'll keep that to a minimum and make it more fun for you guys, whatever you want. I become more of a producer, or what do you call a YouTuber, a content creator, right? So that's okay. I'm cool with that. But, I don't want to just be like Mr. Beast or whatever, do content, because that's a popular or it's likely to be popular. I just want to, kind of be a guitar channel, right? And when I say guitar cats, it's like jazz cats. You know what I mean? Guitar cats, guitar players are cats. They're guitar cats. They're cool. Uh, whatever. But also, I'm a cat lover, and that's why I'm hysterical, because I lost my angel today. Um, and I was mad at God this morning, saying they took my angel. So I don't know who they is, and I don't want to break down right now. I'm sure I'll continue to cry throughout the night. Usually they will come home at sunset and sunrise. So I lost it at sunrise. I'll probably lose it again. Sunset's coming. Anyway, I had some good guitars. I had the Mitchell. I wish that I had it now. It's a little shorter scale, I think, 24.75, double humbuckers. I was gonna troubleshoot. I think it was likely gonna be the 3-way switch, because the neck pickup was not functioning at all, and I got $50 off for that. I was like, hey, okay, cool, right? Probably won't have to replace the pickup. It's likely just the 3-way switch was defective. because the other humbucker worked. I think it's dual humbucker setup, and so I was looking forward to fixing that sucker. I think I played some other Mitchells in the store, and I love the humbucker sound on that. The neck pickup, I'm looking for bass. I want full sound. I'm not looking for some lead treble thing. I don't even know. A lot of those guys are all bridge pickup guys. So I'm not that much of a lead guitarist. I'm doing more like rhythm type stuff, and yeah, maybe I'm more Bobby than Jerry, but I got a lot of Jerry in me. When I do play lead, I'm not playing any loopers or anything yet, but I bought a looper. That's the one pedal I do own, and it's like a $40 special with the drum machine built in. And so it kind of sucks. It doesn't even work half the time. Um, like the power goes on and off or something, or what is it? It doesn't. I don't think I can get the looper to work. But I was having the drum machine working, and then it's like it comes on, it stays on, but sometimes it don't come on, and you got to like fidget with it, like a loose wire or connection or something. So you get for a $40 pedal, you know what I mean? You think you're gonna replace your drummer, you know, and the bassist or whatever, like the whole rhythm section with a fucking pedal? Well, expect to spend a little more than $40. So you kind of get what you pay for. But I think I can possibly get the looper to work and then record some rhythms and play to them and expand the band. You know what I mean? Maybe use it live on gigs. Sweating Matt Bolton, check him out. Bomb right now. But he's touring the San Francisco area. He's hitting all the wineries, Napa, Rowan Park. I don't know. He's everywhere. I don't even see him in San Jose rather, too often. But that wouldn't be a big stretch for him. I'm sure he's getting the big money, and so he probably don't mind driving a little bit. And he's funny. He's getting lost on the way to wineries. So nothing but stories about guitar players and guitars and stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll do some more guitar hunting. I had visited this pawn shop that was across the street from my old job before I got fired, and then they had a nice Paul Reed Smith Santana model, right? I think everything was working on it, but it's pretty old, and I don't know, I think it was at least 10 years old. So it's an older model, but I think it's a short scale. I want to try short scale. I got little hands, so I'm looking forward to getting into some short scale because they say it's way easier to bend. I had a Strat my whole life, and my brother sold a Strat. There's a video up on the channel, and I'm like upset. I'm still upset about it. Tragic loss right there. American Strat 50th anniversary, and I think it was like 96 or something. I bought it. 93. When the heck did I buy that guitar? It's 95. I don't know. When the heck was the 50th anniversary? I think it was a Strat, not a Fender. So, pretty nice. American Standard. It had a bonus finish, a candy apple red, but with a silver burst underneath. So they called it Crimson Burst. Special finish, extra special. The wood grain coming through the candy apple, nailed it. Great, tone on the candy apple too. And so I'm missing that guitar. My brother sold it, probably pawned it or whatever, and didn't get full value, I don't think. But I think he did get a decent value price for it. And then he went and smoked weed with the money. So thanks, brother. You know what I mean? I don't want to like be too hateful or resentful, like compared to Joseph from the Bible and what his brothers did to him. My brother's selling my Strat ain't nothing. So it's all good in the hood, right? Totally, he's forgiven. When heaven called and said, "Hey, your brother has applied for entry," I put you down as a reference, and I'm like, "Yep, thumbs up. He's cool. I forgive him, whatever, and I don't think he made it in. I don't know, honestly. I'm a little blocked, but whatever. He's a man, and I shouldn't put my faith in men, but in God. So when I look up to this guy and pray, I got to focus, more to God than pray to my brother for favors down from heaven or whatnot. But it is possible he's up there chilling like an angel. He's done a lot of good life in his life, and he changed a little at the end with the stroke there, but like I say, all good in the hood. So what else can you expect on this channel besides super emotional personal crap? Uh, Cringy fucking rehearsals, raw rehearsals. Me, first attempts at a lot of new songs. I realize now if I want to gig out, that I gotta, be able to do tons of requests and have like, I don't know, 500 songs or so. Maybe not essential, but I don't want to be just repeating the, same 20 songs or whatever at all my gigs out. If I go YouTube down, which I will, right, put the gigs up live, and then I get some kind of following, you don't want to see me do, the same 10 songs every day. That's kind of where I was, doing my top 50 favorite songs. But now I'm dedicated to learning tons of new stuff. I mean, there's lots of bands with tons of songs that I don't know. Like I love Pearl Jam. I do a couple Pearl Jam tunes, but I could probably do a dozen Pearl Jam tunes. And so we're stepping it up. That's what I'm up to. Learning cool tunes like 90s classic rock, Audio Slave, whatever, Chris Cornell, anything Chris Cornell, Grateful Dead, Bob Marley. And then that's just from me. Maybe we'll get interviews from other guitar players. Some extended stuff. But yeah, it's pretty easy for me to produce myself and just, turn the phone on and then post it. So cringy rehearsals sometimes have some killer fucking moments. You might have to sit through 45 minutes of cringe and then you get a minute of me nailing something and you're like, oh, that was pretty cool. So whatever. That's you can expect more of that. More probably like cats rolling in on the camera like while I'm filming and rehearsing or whatever. And who knows, maybe we get a little band action together. I'm hoping to get some live gigs. I'm looking at some venues. I got a new chiropractic job coming. So I saw the Chicken Ranch up there near casino near my new job. And I'm thinking, hey, I should play here. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, I probably will. Right. So look for me on like Wednesday, no, Thursday nights. Probably I'll be the regular. Just crooning it up, y'all. Crooning it up. And what else, man? Gear reviews. I'm probably going to do that. Talk about that amp a little bit more. I mean, I recommend that. I think it's pretty straight up. I'm thinking it'd be nice to get some foot switches. They got plenty of totally distorted sounds, lead sounds and whatnot. But I don't know, I'm not too metalish. I like the rhythms and the rhythm, the line. I love the style of some metal guitar stuff. And then I was a big fan of the shredding, the fast scales and stuff, or scale patterns. But maybe not jazzy enough. And then the sweep picking and I don't know, arpeggios, fast arpeggios, 2-octave arpeggios. It's kind of almost boring. It's not too creative enough. I want to see some jazz thrown in there, adding all those weird notes or whatever. And if you're just a pentatonic kook, then you're probably boring too. But that was my first band, had a killer blues pentatonic master. And I don't even know if he realized, he was flatting the fifth or the fourth or whatever, the blues note and blue, throwing in. But he would make most of his living off of that minor pentatonic. And I guess in a few positions, right? Not doing the shredding at all, barely running the diatonic. But then as we evolve, he was doing way more diatonics, great ear, but not like owning the theory or the modes or the, modal, thinking, oh, I'm going to do something Dorian here. Probably wouldn't even know, exactly what that is. Maybe a clue. Maybe he owns it by now. And it's weird because you'll learn them like they're saying Allman Brothers, Dorian. And then Santana, what? He's Phrygian? Yeah, so, or Aeolian, right? Yeah, that's like a Latin sounding, minor scale, so minor mode. And so I think he's living through there, but I only watched one or two videos on Santana. You guys could chime in down below on what the keys are to sounding like Santana. And while you're at it, throw in Jerry Garcia. But Jerry does like those chromatic descending pull offs, mixed into pentatonics, right? He is adding jazz to the pentatonics. I wouldn't say he plays a lot of Lydian. I mean, he's definitely a minor pentatonic, I think, bass, but he's got all his triads and arpeggios and all that kind of stuff. And then I don't know, fantastic rhythm. No, definitely more jazz than just straight blues, but definitely blues master, right? If you don't know, better ask somebody. Jerry Garcia, top two of my favorite guitarists, I'd say. Maybe my favorite. Him and Jimmy Page, probably top two. Love a lot of the jazz guys. I haven't heard Schofield in a while, but I'm sure he's one of my faves still. And I don't know. I love Santana. I see it's a little bit simpler than I had imagined. He'll hang on a few notes, which is kind of cool. Keep it simple, and and whatever. He's got great rhythm, syncopation, and feel, soul, putting the soul into a baby, right? So you don't need to be an encyclopedia, some analytical guitar player, jazz cat. But anyway, I'd love to go and get that Santana guitar, and I think I can pick it up for about $400 or $500. It's probably still sitting in that pawn shop a year later, right? And the guy had also an Acoustastrat, just like mine. And I dialed in that Acoustastrat, the action. I think I had it down to 1.85 or something millimeters. And that's low. For an acoustic, extremely low. So that thing was playing like butter, super smooth. I mean, with the action that low, you don't want to strum too crazy. You're going to get some buzz. But I kind of like that because I was using that like as distortion, right? And then, I don't know, I also wasn't playing it like an acoustic, like strumming, even though I am kind of an acoustic strummer type, player. Yeah. So anyway, the Acoustastrat, pretty cool. I think I can pick that used one up. It's pretty old now, but I think it all works for probably 80, $100. Make him a deal. Be like, I'll give you 500 for, both the Santana PRS and then that's, I don't know where they made that PRS. I'm trying to think. I forgot. It might be Indonesia. That may be when they started doing it 10 years ago, right? Back there, time's just going so fast. So yeah, I think they're already making them there. Could be American made. Then it'd be a sweet friggin' deal. I think it'd be worth more than what. But maybe that's why it sits there. Maybe he's given his rock bottom price. He's not willing to go, any lower or negotiate. And then, stuff's gonna sit. He might have played it, liked it, might have been his at one point, and then you got the sentimental value, so they're not gonna let it go for any real bargain. All right, so what else, people? Yeah, I'm gonna order some more gear. I'm trying to get ready for gigging. I need some stands and backup gear, maybe some real wires in case the wireless systems fail, or a backup wireless system. I got a cheap ass wireless, and so maybe I should get another one. Right, so cheap you can buy two. Hey. And yeah, we'll see. That's what you can expect. I wanted to let you guys know, I haven't been posting so much because of the chemo. I haven't been rehearsing, haven't been playing my guitar. I'm laying on my back now in bed, and that's like my standard position. What did I do today? I rode the e-bike, tried to go pay the rent. I failed because the e-bike ran out of charge, and now I took the car and paid the rent. So that just from that, I'm pretty exhausted. But I'm emotionally exhausted. And I'm still recovering from chemo from a week ago or 10 days ago, whatever it is. I'm doing pretty good now. So, but starting Monday, Tuesday, or rather, I'll be back in chemo for the whole week. I expect to be near death literally on that whole week. Uh, yeah, so don't call me. Avoid my calls. If I'm calling you, it's probably because I'm breaking down. And so it's ugly. But I guess that's just part of the thing, man. The chemo is just so brutal. And I think we're almost done with it. Cancer's pretty much gone. PET scan said we're clear. So I'm kind of in celebration mode. I'd love to go back to work. That might be totally possible. We get rid of this ostomy deal. And yeah. Side note, also more TMI, personal stuff. What Social Security said I'm medically qualified, and so they're going to make sure I have all the other qualifications, that I meet all the other requirements, and hopefully I'll get approved. But medically, they acknowledge that I'm disabled, with my medical diagnosis and stuff. Yeah, I guess the qualifications are you need like a terminal disease. I guess that's what I have. And I'm also disabled. So, yeah. And then I don't know what the other requirements are. If I worked, I worked a lot in my life at different jobs. We went all over that already with them. I thought they had me pre approved and the medical was like the last step. But I guess not. There might be more interviews or something to go through. Hopefully, they'll approve that. If they do, I'll be able to devote a lot more time to guitar, music, and the channel. Right. So hopefully, I express myself. I'm a little bit delirious, maybe a lot of it, but like in terms of what you guys can expect, and what I'm willing to deliver. Like I'm kind of, like I say, I'm working on just becoming a better guitar player and a better musician, having a ton more songs added to my repertoire that I can pull up, because I'm sure once I get out there and start gigging, people are going to have lots of requests. And whatever, I guess you want to fill the tip jar, you best be doing requests, you know what I mean? And it's funny because Matt Bolton is probably one of the top solo giggers out there, live gigging in the San Francisco area, and he talks, he's got the chat going, he's always asking for requests. He's like, oh, it makes it easier. And so, yeah, because he might just lean on songs that he's comfortable with and remembers that he knows, and he's searching, right? He's not going into each gig. He gigs like every day, so he's not putting together a set list every day. And then, of course, he's not doing the same set either. So, as a Grateful Dead fan, he's just rocking it. Does tons of Grateful Dead, but like he does it, he did a '60s party, and then I was in the chat shouting out bands or artist names, from the '60s to help him to make suggestions. And then that's kind of fun. So, whatever, that's what I'll be working on. Also, maybe some like paintings. I did a little painting of a guitar just because I wanted to put something on the wall with color on it, and it came out really good, pretty good. So I have a little talent for visual art, I think, and recognize. And what? I'll hopefully be fixed. They could fix me, and I can go back to work. It'd be nice to go back to work. Full time, or at least get the full time money. Work part time. Look, I'd be happy to work 2 days a week as a chiropractor and then go 5 days a week hard on the music. So, God, probably, you can usually manifest whatever it is you desire, and I'm pretty good manifester. So, we'll get our cake and eat it too, right? So, I guess at this point, I'm going to sign off and say God bless you. We're 35 minutes in, and yeah, sorry I haven't posted. I expect to be posting a lot more. This next week, chemo is going to, destroy me. And then, so probably around the middle of the month, it's October, we'll probably see me starting to post regular again. And, God bless you all. God bless all your family. May you be healthy, right, and happy. And keep rocking, Guitar Cats, all right? Um, if my cat comes back, or when she comes back, right? I'm gonna celebrate. I'll give you guys the update. But also I'm pretty good at channeling through the emotions, and I was real sad. I'm still sad, but I think I vented most of that, and I had a good cry, so it's not really bottled up. I have to kind of face reality that the longer she's gone, the less likely is she's going to come home. And I feel like something's blocking her because she was happy here, so something's keeping her from coming home. And I'm praying for her to come home. You guys are welcome to pray for that as well. I love you all. God bless you. Peace, love, and prosperity, people.